Hi everyone, it's Carly. It's day 7 of the AXA Living on a State Pension Challenge. So it's Sunday, the last day of the experiment. I'm glad it's over, if I'm honest with you. Today I got up, had some breakfast, was meant to go to the Remembrance Sunday parade on Whitehall, but I've been sleeping really badly, so I stepped in and decided to meet Kimberly at the pub, which we went to earlier on in the week for the quiz night on Tuesday, when we won a free dinner for 2, so we went to use that today because, you know, I've got no money left. So that was really good. Went and met her, and then we were supposed to go in London tonight, this evening, but unfortunately there's been a lot of news in the city and they couldn't squeeze us on, so we might be on tomorrow, we're not sure yet. So instead we went down to the Science Museum, which is free, a lot of kids down there, but it was really good fun actually, and I wish we'd known about that earlier in the week, because you can take your packed lunch and eat in there, because museums are all for that, because obviously children go, but galleries and stuff, they aren't. You know, you can't really eat your little packed lunch in the gallery, so that was really good fun. And then we both just went home. I've just cooked the last of my dolmio and pasta, which is really boring now, and just going to sit down and chill out now for the rest of the evening, and look forward to, you know, going back to work tomorrow at Ticketmaster and being a client account manager. So yeah, it's been really interesting. Overall, at the beginning of the week I started to sort of have a giggle and think this was a great experiment and a week off work and I can do loads of stuff, and then throughout the week it sort of hit me that this is not fun, and I know I'm only doing this for 1 week, but this is what people have to do for the rest of their lives when they retire. That's really worrying, because it can be fun to try and do a little experiment and do video diaries, and I've never tweeted and Facebooked so much in my life, and actually this is like a sorry state, because people will have to live on a basic budget that's the state pension, and it isn't enough. I don't care how or who tells you differently. Like a lot of the other people I watch their videos on this experiment, they've got like £20 or £30 left, and I don't know, perhaps they house share or they've got different bills to me, but the actual the basic state pension amount is not enough to live on. Not enough to live on to be able to give you what you need without suffering in any way, or without sort of cutting corners. And you know, it's really interesting. I've learnt a lot, and you know, I've done a bit of cooking. I haven't really felt that I've got as much sort of fruit and vegetables as I should be getting into me, because I couldn't afford to go down and get them all fresh and, you know, go to the fish counter, or, you know, all of that. Just, I've had to sort of cut corners a lot of in a lot of places just to be able to get by, really. I've got about 48p now, 47p left from a week. I've not had anything that's really sort of, I can't really, like a treat. I've not had any wine, not had any beer. I've had 1 bar of chocolate from Lidl's. It was like a pretend Mars bar for 25p. But it's not all about the food. It's actually about how I felt this week. Like yesterday, Saturday, I'd had such a horrible day. I didn't particularly do anything that made me feel that, you know, I was having a horrible day. It was just really awful. I was really down, and I wanted this experiment to be over, and I wanted to see my friends, I wanted to go out for dinner, I wanted to do loads of stuff, and I couldn't. And that's, again, coming back to the point where this is just an experiment for me. This is just to sort of get a taster, and how people will do this, like, from the moment they retire until the moment, you know, that they die. It's really not very good at all. It really has. I'm only 27, so it's made me realise that now, like I said before on these diaries, I really need to start thinking seriously about how I'm gonna survive when I retire, and how I'm gonna stop wasting my money and stop throwing money at stuff because I can. I mean, yes, I would have liked a bit more money this week to have done a few more things, maybe have bought a few things on the way, but certainly not to waste the money. I would, you know, it would have been pointless to have loads of money to waste. But I really need to stop. Sort of, I get a decent salary, and I really should have a lot more money in my ISA than I do to, you know, to put towards a place of my own and to put towards, you know, when I retire. Like 30 years left, and you know, touch wood, I make it to retirement age. But yeah, I think it's definitely been a really interesting experiment. And if it, you know, if it changes one person's mind of how they, or how one person's sort of thought process of how they need to put money away for the future through a savings account, for a pension, for an ISA, whatever, then it's definitely been worth it. Like I said yesterday, I felt really sort of low, and I've really enjoyed doing the experiment with Kim. She's one of my great bestest friends, and I'm glad I did it with her because we had a giggle, and you know, she was there, and it was just really nice. And I hope she, along with my other friends, are around when I'm a pensioner and can treat me, and or you know, my then children and grandchildren will be able to treat me. Because another thing this made me think about was how lucky my nan was. Unfortunately, some people aren't that lucky, and I don't want to be like one of them people that aren't lucky. And I want to put money away, and I want to enjoy my retirement. You know, you've worked hard all your life, or the majority of your life. Why should you then have to suffer and not get a bottle of wine or a chocolate, or have a day out at, I don't know, a hotel spa? All of these things just have all come like into my thought process this week, and you know, I definitely will finish this experiment, not so much on a high, but on a positive note, thinking that I'm glad I've done this, because people can sit there and talk at you and say you've got to save when you're old, and yeah, whatever. But until you actually try and live with no credit or debit cards, with no help from anyone, not allowed to take food from anyone. Yeah, I had dinner cooked for me maybe twice this week, fireworks night and another night. But that's, you know, that's once in a blue moon, or could be once in a blue moon. So I definitely feel I've learnt a lot from this experiment. So that's it really. It's Sunday night, I'm back to work tomorrow. I won't be doing any more of these diaries or tweeting or Facebooking, but thank you all for listening, and thank you for, you know, asking me to be part of this experiment. I've certainly learnt a lot, and I hope I've sort of given you a taster of what I've learned as a young female. You know, I'm quite career driven, so I'm constantly working, and you know, I'm not the sort of person who would necessarily always go to galleries and do some free stuff. And I hope that, you know, I've shown guys there is a lot of free stuff you can do out there, and also you really need to think now, start maturing a little bit now about how you think you're going to survive on a state pension, because you probably won't. And we all have a dream of marrying that rich guy, but you know, as an independent person, I would like to be able to have my own money to live on. So that's it for now. I go down and watch telly and speak to my niece and nephew before they go, and that's it from me. So thank you very much, and I hope I've, you know, fulfilled this experiment test as best I could, and I'll see you all maybe in the future. Take care.